Hello, hello, hello. Keelan with KK Studios here. Today I have a bone to pick with Seedance 2.0. It doesn't live up to expectation. I'm not gonna lie. Let's jump into this real quick. I've been working with Seedance fairly much in the last couple of days, testing it out, getting things closer to what I want, and trying to make it as friendly as possible for new users. You know, simple requests, simple prompts, all of that with simple images. This one's a little bit more complex, sure, but I wanted to test this out. And it didn't really perform. I'll hit play and we'll see how this goes. Right off the bat there, you get a lot of detail. But that wasn't what I asked in the prompt. With him walking, I was asking for him to be running multiple different angles. Fairly simple prompt. I believe just 3 sentences total. And we got that. Could have been a little bit more to what I was asking, you know? Now we'll jump into the second one here. And that one, immediately off the bat, seems a little bit better given what it's doing. But then that music in the background sounded vaguely close to Disney copyright. Just a little confusing. And we jump into the third one. After a little bit of tweaking here, I finally got it to give me that running, and it showed me a second scene, a second shot of the character, which we like a lot. But it's still got that music in the background. Not necessarily sure why. There's really not much to say about that one. That one just sucked. Yeah, that one was really bad. Not only was the music sounding like 2016 copyright free YouTube music for an outro, he was running backwards at a very odd pace. Yeah. Very discombobulating. Kind of touching into that uncanny valley a little bit more than I would like. And there's that. That one's probably the closest to what I was looking for. I'm not even going to lie. Music was still not what I was looking for. And in all honesty, his movements were a little janky. Although fairly smooth. I will give it that. All of this, to this point, is very smooth. Very impressive that it's consistent to that degree. But given the prompts that I asked, not quite to the degree I was hoping. Now, all of this to say, I think Seedance 2.0 is focused a little more towards that realistic side of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it does leave people who are trying to work with animations, AI, anime, and that sort of thing a little little bit left in the dust, you know. Which obviously more models keep coming out, keep getting updated, which I love. I am so excited for all of that. That makes me super happy that more models keep coming out and getting updated. And one of those that has recently been getting updated more and more and more has been Grok. Now, in comparison to all of the videos that I just showed you, I use the exact same prompt as the first one, as that very first video. Kind of asking for exactly what I was wanting. Obviously, with Grok, it doesn't really do shots, different shots at a time. And so, that much was not expected. But even with the fact that that shot, like an extra shot added in there, isn't possible, I still kind of think Grok Imagine outperformed here. And this is after the update for Grok Imagine. Just so anyone's aware, we had an update recently where they switched from free to having it cost, which honestly was a little to be expected, given Sora 2 is finally shutting down. Most of our AI free options are kind of disappearing, which is not ideal. I was hoping that AI would be a place where people who are a little less fortunate in the money sort of thing could experiment a lot more. And obviously, didn't happen, which is unfortunate. I'll show you this here with Grok, and tell me what you think. Is Grok really outperforming Seedance 2.0, at least in the animation or anime field? I personally think it does. You tell me.
Whoa, this city is incredible. Look at those ships soaring. I can't wait to explore.
Super, super simple. Has transition. Doesn't keep it in the focus the entire time. And it shows me new things. I really prefer it over just about every single video that we had here with Seedance. Seedance has that consistency and the smoothness and the complexity really well. Really well. Does all of that. But it leaves something lacking. You kind of want a little bit more from it. Grok, on the other hand, it just feels better. It feels smoother. Obviously, the voice could be better. Not gonna lie on that. Voice could be better. But there's nothing a little tweaking can't do. And then you probably have something almost exactly where you want it.
Whoa, this city is incredible. Look at those ships soaring. I can't wait to explore.
Just taking another look at that there. It feels more natural than anything that I showed you with Seedance 2.0. And I'm kind of sad about that. Not gonna lie. Well, either way, I just wanted to come on here, tell you about that, tell you about some of the weird looking things with Seedance 2.0 in animation. I personally think it's not quite as good as it could be, at least movement-wise capabilities. We'll see. I'm going to be doing more testing here as time goes on. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think is better? Is it Grok or Seedance 2.0? And is there another model out there that you think completely beats both of them? Let me know. Down in the comments, leave a follow, leave a like, and if you want to see more stuff like this, I'll be hopefully coming out with more soon. Thank you guys so much for listening in, hearing a little bit of my rant about Seedance 2.0 and its animation capabilities. And I will see you soon.